You said it was like You said I basically described the Brave New World without having ever read it.
Yeah, which is really interesting. So the thing about Brave New World is that like all the citizens kind of do whatever, have fun. There is work. Like they do have to do work, even though they have machines that can automate it. It's just to keep them busy. More importantly, they have this thing called Soma, which is a drug that just kind of takes them on their own little vacation. They trip hard, is what I'm saying. Also, tons of sex.
Oh.
Like relationships don't really exist. People just have a lot of sex with each other.
So it's basically that like that one
Recreational purpose or just
it's
for
basically like that one society. The person do you know the person who assassinated Garfield, or not the cat,
Andrew Garfield.
president, the president.
Okay, one minute. I just think Garfield the cat first.
Okay.
I had to like step back a bit for that. No, I don't. I don't even remember him being assassinated.
Okay then.
Oh no. Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Bruh.
Oh, wait, come back.
What did you do?
Oh no.
No!
Oh, no.
I mean, I'm sure you can talk about like why it was a dystopia.
I mean, actually, it's just because there's no sense of individuality or like free thinking.
So why is that
Oh,
important
that's
then?
bad.
It just comes back to knowledge makes people sad.
I mean, they do say ignorance is bliss, but
Yeah, not just that, like other emotions that aren't happiness, like like being angry or sad.
Okay, well, I think the most important the most important part about this is to make sure everyone thinks the same way. Because other than that, because if you don't do that, it's impossible to standardize anything. You see, the way we mass produce anything is by making everything standardized. We make things the same. We produce things in the same replicatable way, so that they can be made in factories. They can be made automatically. And that same thing needs to be done to thinking, needs to be done to happiness, in order to make it mass producible. Because the way things are right now, you have to actually like everyone's like slightly different, or not even slightly different, very different. And because of that, there's no like one solution to everything. There's nothing you can just produce all the time in order to make everyone happy, because everyone's happy for different things. So for that reason, everyone needs to think the same for this to work.
Yeah. Also, Shark just took part of my raft.
yeah, because like by yourself,
There's no inherent value in individuality.
I mean,
We only
technically, there's also
value
no
it.
inherent value in happiness.
Well, there is, because you can directly experience happiness. You can't directly experience individuality. Like, individuality is not a feeling.
I would argue that freedom.
You can have a sense of it, but it only makes you feel other feelings. It's not a feeling in itself.
And this is where the rift between me and Kier forms, because we have different values. Happiness? Nah, screw happiness. What I care about is freedom.
So you value freedom over happiness?
As you can tell, because I'm a very unhappy person.
Ow. Wait,
no.
but what would you say? Like some part of happiness comes from freedom, though.
Well, what I think is that happiness is a product of freedom, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
They're not mutually. They're not mutually exclusive, but they don't have to be together.
So like I don't value drugs. I just think that they're a good means to an end. I just think they're efficient. And the thing is, without individuality, you don't have to sacrifice everyone, because everyone's goals are aligned. Everyone's whatever happens to one person will be the same for everyone. Like it's Like whatever you do, it will only ever be good or it will only ever be bad. There's no. There actually is a right or wrong if everyone thinks the same.
Ah.
So in order to do what's right, you have to first make a world where it's possible for anything to be right. And in order for anything to be right, everyone has to think the same.
But yeah, I just disagree with it on a fundamental level.
But what's fundamental about freedom, though?
What's fundamental about freedom? Choice. I like having choice, and I don't like people taking that
Now
away from me.
that I can agree on.
Alright, you see, my idea of utopia is just people just diving into VR and experiencing lifetimes. So like at some point when they've experienced enough, they can decide, hey, you know what I think is a real utopia? A utopia where I can do drugs all day and then be happy and then die.
But the result is the same. They're going to be happy. They just have to. It's just that in your idea, they have to find out.
Or maybe, yeah, they have to go find them for themselves. It's all about choice. And if they decide they want to live outside of the virtual reality stuff, then they can. Although it kind of assumes a lot about technology, like virtuality being realistic enough that you can live it, being able to experience a lifetime in like, I don't know, a minute or something. Like, I thought about just having immortality, but that'd be kind of dumb and also unnecessary. Or maybe not. And
Why is immortality I think immortality is the necessary part of utopia because immortality brings the potential for infinite reward because you have infinite time.
would you add?
See, you can't have utopia without immortality because immortality makes the potential reward infinite.
How do I fix this? What the heck? Oh. Do you think your drug utopia would be better if you had immortality?
Well, yeah, and anything can be better with immortality.
I think I would do like you can't die of sickness or old age, but you can like at a certain point you can decide, hey, I've done enough. Let me just die now.
The suicide?
I mean, let's not call it suicide. Let's call it
It's the same thing.
let's call it a release.
Really.
Yeah, really.
Really.
Well, I
Let's call it
mean,
releasing.
You have been released.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm about to be released.
You've been released. As long as you like are willing to, that's what matters,
Yeah.
right? Because I said it's about choice. Most of the time when it's dying,
Okay,
like,
but the thing is,
people aren't ready. They didn't choose that decision, but like with the whole immortality, that does solve that problem.
It's like imagine this, just like a room full of little capsules. You go into one, you plug yourself in, and boom, you're living as a primate in the wild. Reject humanity, become monkey. And then you get out, like a minute has passed, and you leave, get yourself some orange juice, come back, and do another lifetime where you're a football star.
so orange juice is part of your utopia. then,
Okay,
eh?
no.
I approve.
You know
of
what?
that.
Yeah, orange juice is part of my utopia. Everyone gets free orange juice forever.
You know what?
You know what? I think
Okay,
we can all agree on with that.
but I don't like orange juice.
Okay,
And-
you can
Get
leave.
out.
and
Okay,
perfect timing, I'm dying of thirst
okay,
now.
all right, Ambitos, all right. Okay, what is your idea of utopia without orange juice then?
Yeah, how would you have a utopia without orange juice? Huh? Tell me.
Well, utopias must have orange juice. Okay?
Really? Does it really?
Yes,
Of
it
course.
does.
What if a person doesn't like orange juice?
Then they're
They
unwillingly
can be released.
So,
Dude, you're gonna die or something?
I'm gonna die of thirst, ironically. Yeah, so, actually, imagine this, like, you're living in a utopia where, or you're living in a virtual simulation where you're in a raft and you're floating through the ocean. If that's your idea of what happiness could be. Or maybe you just want to experience it once.
Well, if it is your idea of happiness, then it is. I can't really disagree with you.
Yeah,
It's you. I can't.
because people can just go through a catalog of experiences and decide what makes them happy. Maybe they
But the
decide to
thing
just...
is,
Hmm?
the thing is with brainwashing, it's instant, and also, even if you value choice, it will still be your choice to whatever happens because of how your mind changed, because of how your mind changes to want whatever, to want these drugs, to want, uh, or to want to breathe, really, to be happy about breathing. It will still be your choice because that's what your mind decides, even if your mind was changed. What would be the difference between your mind getting brainwashed and just being basically influenced by the environment? What's the difference?
You know, if you're living in it, it probably doesn't matter to you because you're already brainwashed in it. But
Hmm.
I would say being alive now and knowing what it is, I'd rather not give it up. And if you lose that, what makes you different from like an animal? Oh crap, my raft is leaving.
I suppose it doesn't make you different from an animal, but
Yeah.
or like not or like I'm guessing your definition of animals like
What's the point of being
primitive,
human?
instinctual.
Yeah.
There isn't really a point to being human besides coming up with utopias,
I
making
mean,
things
at that
better.
point, we can make this a lot simpler. Just reject humanity, become monkey. You don't really have a real idea of what...
But are monkeys really happy though? I
I
guess
mean,
they
They
have
don't really...
senses,
I don't think they really have the concept of
but
happiness like we do.
Yeah, I don't really
you don't need to know the
those-
concept of
if there's no
happiness to be
concept of
happy.
happiness, then there shouldn't really be a problem, huh?
Well, crap.
Well, then that's like killing everyone then.
yeah, it's
I
happening.
mean, it's not a bad option,
Mm.
but it is the
Just
same
commit
thing. Like you're
mass
basically
genocide,
disabling
really?
everyone's emotions, which
Because,
it's
like-
basically the most neutral solution you can think of.
Thing is, like, I want to encourage higher thinking. I don't want to just eliminate that.
Well, for me, I value higher thinking as a means to an end, but it's not really important to itself. It's not important as itself. It's important because it causes solutions. People will find solutions because of higher thinking. But if the solution is already there, then you don't need it anymore.
But who's to say that is the solution? If we completely eliminate higher thinking too early, we're kind of screwed.
You know what? That's a good point.
Yeah. Although, but then again, Brave New World did have like one guy at the top that kind of was in charge, the smart guy. And they also did this thing where like if like there were if intelligent people like developed like anyways, despite all the conditioning and brainwashing, they would just send them all to an island where they can be with each other, talk to each other, do whatever. So they can do their own thing without interfering with everyone else.
I mean, that's a decent solution, I guess.
Yeah. But then you have to live with
I
yourself.
was thinking
knowing that
about
you kind of
killing them, but
What?
that works too.
Um,
I mean, there if you have knowledge, you're unhappy, so you know, might as well end their misery. Honestly, I barely have a problem with Ren's idea of a utopia. I just think it's slightly less efficient since people have to find it first. But, like, I wouldn't mind it. It's basically the same idea. It is true,
Yeah.
but yeah, basically it is the same idea.
I mean, in a
so-
way, you could also see mine as just a cop-out utopia, because I decide, you know what? Let's not choose. Or rather, let's give everyone choice. Like, I'm not gonna decide for everyone.
Well, that just means you value choice. It's not really the same as a cop-out.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it doesn't mean you're not choosing any values, you're just choosing the value of choice. Alright, I guess if we're talking about more specifics, I had like a plan where I have an AI, watching over the whole thing.
Bruh.
Not really. Their main goals are like watching out for asteroids, like if an asteroid goes and plows through that whole, drug machine thing, then well, that's not a good thing. That's gonna make things stop working. So AI gotta defend against earthquakes, lava, meteors, whatever. But also they're going to try to expand it as well. They're going to make more offspring. There's going to be the machine's going to be extended so that more materials are taken. They're taking materials from other planets as well, other star systems, in order to just make it as big as the universe. Like there's every not a single space in the not a single atom in the universe is spared in order to make this happen. Every single atom of the universe, every particle is being used at its maximum efficiency in order to make as many consciousness as happy as possible. It has to reach perfection. The AI is maximizing the whole process.
Wait, elaborate on the offspring part.
They're just gonna take cells from the humans who are there already. It's not that complicated.
That's actually something I thought was kind of interesting about the older, like versus newer utopia ideas, because a lot of the older ideas don't really take into account AI. Like they always like take some really smart guy and put him at top, like Brave New World or 1984.
Your kid.
Rent's utopia. What we do.
Alright,
feel like-
if everyone on planet Earth was like transported to that, so many people would just immediately go into isekai.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah,
don't
that's
come on,
that's
y'all.
that's definitely one of the first ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be
But then
real though.
after
Who
that-
wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Hi. Okay, yeah, no, that's a lie. Obviously, I would. I would try it out, I would try it out.
Yeah, but I think at the end I would return back to quote unquote like normal life.
And then like there's those people that are like, hey, I want to be in Lord of the Rings.
No,
I want to be
honestly,
Frodo carrying the One Ring.
I want to be
Mordor.
the
I'd probably be doing a lot of experimentation in Ren's utopia, but after that I'd just be going, okay, time for drugs. Once I got bored of that.
I guess you could only know what kind of life you want to live, for sure, after you've experienced them all.
True.
And then once you're satisfied, it's time to be released.
Or drugs,
What
if you're
though?
me.
Greed is
I think that's better than being released.
the question. Is like, would you actually release
Like,
them?
once you've achieved perfection, do you just let humanity die out?